Here we go now.
Happy Monday, happy Monday. Enough of that. Guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you would rate the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know normally we get a little bit of a break between the ending of one show and then before we start recapping the next. No, Bravo said no. We're going to run right on into the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. As you know, they have been heavily promoting this, heavily trying to make us believe that this cast are connected. They've been doing a lot of little promo. They even had a Real Housewives of Atlanta premiere party, the first they've ever done for Atlanta. Did you guys see it? I saw it. I was like, okay, I have my trepidations about this new season. I told you I wasn't really excited about the new season, but I said I'm still coming in with an open mind, an open heart, but we shall see. We shall see how this will turn out. It's only the premiere episode, but if you had to rate the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, be sure to let me know how you'd rate it from 1 to 10. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, those of you watching on Facebook, those of you watching, of course, here on TikTok below me here, and for those of you watching, of course, on YouTube. Twitter is acting up. So shout out to the Twitter folks, because I know originally I said I was going to do this a bit later because I thought my collab with Lil Lynn and Grace Report would spill over, and I wouldn't have enough time to be here for our usual 12:30 p.m. Eastern recap. But we are. I know I was a couple minutes late. That's because I was making sure I had a little something. Look, I'm kidding. I don't drink like that. So, but here we are, and of course, we're back on schedule. We'll be recapping Married to Medicine at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so stay tuned for that. There is a live chat poll in our YouTube live chat. So if you want to vote there, be sure to vote. By the end of this, we'll have a better idea on what people thought of the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? All right. Today's live show is sponsored to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. Yes, Factor Meals makes it so easy for us to have quality meals, but in 2 minutes. Mondays are my busy day. Today's even busier than normal because we did our recap with Lil Lynn and Grace Report just a moment ago on Layla's channel. So for those of you that may have missed it, check it out there. And then, of course, we have our own RHOA recap, and then we have our Married to Medicine recap. So Factor Meals makes it so easy, but also quality. The other thing that I love about Factor is the fact that they have these 40+ add-ons like my ginger shots and things like that. You know, I love a ginger shot, especially during this time of the year. So eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals will be available in the description for those of you watching on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. And shout out to those of you that have already been enjoying the discount code. All right. All right. We will be taking live callers today. Of course, members will have first access. And the live chat, once we get to a certain goal, we will drop the call-in link for everyone that's in the live chat. But keep liking the video if you haven't already. Okay? So let's get to this episode. So if I had to rate the Real Housewives of Atlanta premiere, I probably would rate it a 6.5. I think that's what I said earlier today in regards to the collab that I did with Leyland and Grace Report. I thought it was a decent premiere, but again, we're getting to know a lot of people. So I think that's also a factor that I'm considering. We're still getting to know a bunch of people. So it feels a lot. So that could also take away from the feeling of enjoying the episode. So the episode starts off with giving us what's been going on with Porsha. Porsha is that girl. Porsha is one of the returning peaches. Porsha is spearheading the season. Okay, so they start off with Porsha at the beginning. And I can appreciate production trying to do the edit a little bit differently. And I told you, I feel like they're leaning into the whole narrative of love and hip hop. And based off of the episode, I definitely feel like that's what they're leaning into. I know some of you probably said kind of watching it felt different than what we're used to with Atlanta. And I'm okay. And this is coming from a Taurus. And mind you, we have 3 Tauruses on this season. Shamea, Drew, and I heard Angela say that she's also a Taurus. We got 3 Tauruses on this season. Oh God, y'all better make it a good season because they're gonna say you Tauruses are boring. I'm not saying that it's boring, but I'm just saying y'all better bring it. Okay, 3 Tauruses on the season, Lord. When y'all do casting, y'all consider astrological signs. You probably should. Okay. So we start off this episode with Porsha. And like I said, they were doing a little bit of a different edit. They're giving us the Real Housewives of Dubai confessional stuff. However, the delivery of the Dubai confessionals were far better than what we're seeing in Atlanta. And again, I don't know what the difference might be in regards to who's handling that, who handled Dubai's production versus, it's the same company, but probably different people doing the edits and the lighting and the setting up. It's a green screen. We already know it's a green screen in Dubai, but it didn't feel that way. It felt a little cheap. There were a few edit moments that felt a little cheap. I'm giving grace because even when I'm trying something new, certain things feel a little wonky. But again, I don't have millions of people watching yet. And you should be doing like run-throughs to make sure that these things are good. Right? I didn't love the confessionals in regards to, well, some of them. Some of like the closer up ones were fine, but when they did the full body, which a lot of people loved with Real Housewives of Dubai, but this felt cheap. It felt like is the chair floating? Why is the chair floating, mommy? It's okay. But at the top of the episode, we see this edit with Porsha talking about what she's been through and what she's been going through, and she's getting ready for a run. The body is bodying. Everything's black and white, but she's in color. So they're trying a different edit. So they're starting off with letting us know what's been going on with Porsha, okay? This is her come to Jesus moment, her Shiro moment, her, I don't know. Okay. So we get a little bit of that, and they of course flashback. They show a picture of Simon Gobadia, okay, and then they're speaking with Porsha, and they're like, "Welcome back, Porsha." She's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Okay." So they start off with Porsha and where Porsha's been and what's been going on with Porsha. Okay, fine. But the real opening scene of a newbie is with Shamea. And we've already seen these 6 minutes of Shamea and Shamea's home. So a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know Shamea was living this life. You can see a better video of Shamea's home online. I don't know if she's made changes. She probably has like decor changes since the video, when I guess, I don't know if it was before or after she bought it. Probably before. So, okay. So we get to see Shamea's home, and it's a beautiful home. It's big. Here's the thing. I'm going to say the things because I'm not shucking and jiving to be on Bravo. Okay. So I can say the things, okay, that a lot of people won't say. Okay. But I still am on Bravo, right? I tell you, yes, you can have a big luxurious home, okay? I don't have a $9 million home, okay? But just because you have a big expensive home doesn't mean that you have taste. Oh, damn. And I'm not saying that everyone's taste is different, but I was sort of like, okay, this is a nice big home. It's a nice home, but I also wasn't like, oh my God, it's this big, beautiful home. Look, Shamea is that girl. Shamea's giving all that. Yeah, Shamea got coin, but does she have, what's the word? Look, you couldn't tell. Let's just say that. Okay, you couldn't tell. So we get a full update on where Shamea has been, how Shamea is connected to the rest of the group. Okay, style. Tina says style on TikTok. Demi says taste. Exactly. Thank you. Zoe says money can't buy you taste. Yeah, nice, big, beautiful $9 million home. Just because the price tag is big, it doesn't mean for me that it's like, oh, it's fantastic. Wonderful. I can see past the taste not being there. Okay. All right. But we get an update on Shamea, and Shamea reminds us how she's connected to the rest of the group. We also see Shamea's her kids and her second child, which was brought to you by a surrogate. She talks about the complications with that, so she's giving us an update. We get to see her parents. We get to see her siblings. We also get to learn a little bit more about Shamea if you didn't know. Shamea's just like, I'm like Jamie Foxx. I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a this, I'm a that. Yes, fine. The only difference, look, Shamea is my Taurus sister. I just want to say this, but I'm going to keep it real. You can't compare yourself to a Jamie Foxx. Yes, you can do all of those things, but have you been successful at all of those things?
Lies! The lie!
But I get it. She is talented. She has a beautiful voice. I like her energy. But you can't compare yourself to a Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has won Oscars for his stuff, okay? Grammys and things like that, okay? But okay. This is my recap, okay? Buckle up, okay? All right. So, and apparently this $9 million home that she shares with her family and her husband was like the second highest sale of that year that they bought it. Okay. I was happy because remember we only got to see her come down in that tube of an elevator. I was like, for this style of home, that tube didn't make sense. Only for us to find out later in the episode. No, not later. In the first few minutes, she actually has like a proper elevator. Because I was about to say, like, this house is like older, so I'm surprised that it would have like a tube elevator as opposed to like one of those, like a regular elevator. But it does. It has, but also the tube takes her to her closet. Gorgeous. So she talks about how, she doesn't lead with her money and she doesn't judge people, based off of her own status and things like that. I think all of this is Housewives. This is what production wants. This is what they encourage because a lot of you fans say, this is why I watch Housewives. It's the unattainable life. But if you've been a fan of Housewives since the beginning, it didn't start out that way. I think we got spoiled with shows like Beverly Hills. A lot of these other cities weren't like that. They weren't, yes, they were well to do, but they weren't, come on. All right. All right. So we get to see a little bit more of her house and more of her story, the struggles that she had with her youngest, Shiloh. We also get to see her older daughter, adorable little girls. Okay. Then she talked about how she met her husband, Gerald. Gerald, apparently, I think we find out later in the episode, he's in HVACs and things like that, and that's how he's made his money. He does very well for himself. It's real money as opposed to Simon money, allegedly. Okay. So she talked about how she first met Gerald. And she says, she met this man. She couldn't believe that he didn't have any kids. And she's just like, this single man's walking around Atlanta and he's got all these means and no kids, blah, blah, blah. So she talked about how they hung out. They make it seem like she's long-winded. I thought it was interesting how production was trying to rush her through the story. But I'm like, I thought that was weird because production, you can edit it down. So I think they were intentionally trying to make it seem like Shamea is long-winded and blah 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 blah. And yes, it was a long story, but it got us to the point where she was hanging out with him on that first night, and she went to the bathroom and she blew up his bathroom, but he still called her the next day. And the next time she went over there, he had baby wipes. Okay. All right. And I said, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, Twitter's down, I think, right now, y'all. For those that follow me on Twitter, I said, yeah, that's why he bought the $9 million house. So now they never have to share a bathroom. Honestly, that's goals, right? Come on. Goals. I know some of you that will not do any of that stuff in front of your partner. Okay. But that is literally goals. I would love that for me. Where my partner would never know that I go to the bathroom ever. We have two separate, maybe one bathroom on this side, another bathroom on this side, and closets on each. Can you imagine two gay men? That's gonna be a battle. Okay. I think that's fantastic. Or at least have multiple bathrooms where you can go to the bathroom on the other wing of the house. Okay. So she tells that story about how they met and how she blew up his bathroom. Fine. I thought it was a cute, funny story. It's just something with Shamea that, despite the means that she has, there's just always this hint of like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, have some decorum. Like, she lacks decorum in a lot of instances. It's one thing to turn up with your friends and be blah, 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 blah. It just feels like there is never a moment of decorum with Shamea. And that's always been my little thing with Shamea. Since we've met Shamea, it's always, let's twerk, let's do it. And yes, when you're 20-something years old, even maybe like 30-something, or with your friends, but you're a 42-year-old woman. And I'm like, and this is not ageism. This is just talking about maturity. And I just feel like this is what we're still doing at 40-something. We are still, I just feel like there is no growth. Since we met Shamea 10 years ago, I have not seen growth. Can we get just growth? I don't see growth. And that has nothing to do with how much money you've collected since then. That's just growth, maturity. And I've been seeing it. We've seen it over the years, and then I've seen it in some of these trailers. I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait and watch the full episode, and I'm gonna watch the full season. But what I've noticed, yes, you can be a fun time girl, but it feels like, where was the maturity? Like, I feel like there's no maturity. But again, her best friend is Porsha. Okay. Niecy says, twerking on her $400,000 car. We're gonna get there because, like, come on now. All right. So we get to know a little bit more about Shamea, her home life, how she got connected with Gerald. Fine. She also explains how she's connected to all the women. That's intentional. Bravo has heard your cries. We need women that know each other. So of course they want to show everyone how everyone is connected to Shamea. And everyone is saying that Shamea is the glue this season. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if that's a good thing, but we shall see. This first episode makes it seem like she is the glue. And one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is the beef that is brewing between Shamea and Porsha. And I wouldn't be surprised that we're not surprised at that at all. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me just answer this question or comment. Margaret says, OMG, you can't twerk because you're in your 40s. Geez, it's called having fun. No, Shamea, get off your burner. It's not about that. It's the constant twerking. Every time we've seen Shamea, it's always, oh, I can twerk. It's every time. I twerk on a fence, okay? It's the constant twerking all the time. It's as if you have nothing else to offer the world. It's the constant of it. Every time we've seen Shamea since 10 years ago, it's that. We are now 10, 12 years later, and it's the same thing? Okay. Just asking for a friend. No one's saying because you're in your 40s, you can't have a good time and you can't twerk. We all twerk. I twerk on a fence religiously. It's just a lot. Okay. And look, that twerking is probably what's keeping that husband, right? Keeping fun time girl. Nora says it's like she has no depth. And that's always been my thing with Shamea. There's always feel like, and especially as a tourist, I'm like, I know you got depth. Are you concealing that depth with the twerking? Mika says, not y'all mad at Kemp's opinion. They'll be strong. You're here for that. You're not here for a CNN report on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're here for my review. This is my opinion. Pamela, thank you so much for the super chat. Pamela says, my husband and I have different bathrooms. Pamela, yes. That must be amazing. For a variety of reasons, not just for the poop of it all. Okay? Not just for the poop. Just in general. You know, you could do your own thing. All right. Okay. So we had that with Shamea. And again, I'm keeping an open mind for the rest of the season. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but I'm sharing with you my initial thoughts. And we shall see come episode 10 how y'all feeling. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay. So Drew, we finally get a scene with Kenya Moore. And it's with Drew. Hey, Kenya. How did you guys feel seeing Kenya? Kenya's been on social media retweeting Team Twirl and things like that. Obvious Kenya did not want to leave the show. Obvious Kenya wanted to be a peach holder. That is so obvious. Was Kenya fired, not fired? She denies being fired. She obviously, if the word's not fired, laid off? I don't know what to... She did something that caused friction and caused an issue for her to be on this show, okay? And she's already talking about the editing in regards to how she's being depicted. Here's the thing. If we didn't see Kenya on the show, I probably would be like, okay, Kenya's not there. However, the fact that Kenya's there, but not even in a friend of role, she doesn't have a confessional, it feels awkward. That might be the best word for me to describe it. I'm not Team Twirl like that. Team Twirl probably still mad at me on me covering what Kenya did. Okay? Please understand, I don't care. However, I will say the fact that Kenya is there like a ghost, but not a ghost, I'm just like, I miss Kenya. But Kenya's here. But this is Kenya's fault. I'm not taking ownership from Kenya. This is Kenya's fault. And some people are like, why are they using Kenya? Because very much like you, let's put it in corporate terms. Very much like you, if you created different systems and a method of the way things are done in your office, and then all of a sudden you go and break a policy, and they fire you or lay you off or put you on pause, they're still going to use those processes and methods and systems that you've created even when you're gone. But seeing Kenya there, I was like, oh, thank you, Judgy Justice said she was furloughed. Shut up. Not furloughed. Who says Doge? You know what? Y'all are a mess. That's the way it's feeling. Okay? That's the way it's feeling. Exactly. And one says there are consequences. Yeah. Unfortunately, but I think if we didn't see Kenya, I wouldn't feel like, damn, I miss Kenya. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I did miss Kenya. The fact that she's there and there's no confessionals, there's no context to it. It's just sort of like she's there. Remember that season when she was full on pregnant and she came and it was like, oh my God, Kenya. Because no matter how you feel about Kenya, you can't deny what she's offered to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Some people say that she screwed up the show, but the show has gone on how many seasons since she's been there? Season 5. We're now on season 16. You can't deny what she's offered to the show. Okay? And some people are like, oh, I don't miss her. Fine. Okay? That's fine. You don't miss her. I think I probably wouldn't have missed her if I didn't see her on camera. Okay, I digress. So we see Kenya go over to Drew's house. Drew gives us an update on what's going on with her and Ralph. Ralph is living in the lower level, the basement. I was just saying this earlier. It feels as if we missed out on a lot over this year and a half in regards to what happened between Drew and Ralph, because the fact that they're communicating through an app says to me it got really bad. And she said that she has to leave the house like every third, fifth weekend. I'm like, what is going on? So things are still rocky between Drew Sidora and Ralph. I didn't see any difference in him being in the basement while they were still together versus now, but fine. She can't go down to the basement without permission. They are still going through their divorce. Then she talks about working with Dennis, and Kenya's asking the real questions. This is why I'm like missing Kenya, because in this moment Kenya's just like, Porsha's Dennis, and then she's like, yeah, we he's been passionate about music and we're working on music together. Okay. I don't believe that Dennis McKinley has been passionate about, he could have been passionate about music, but for Drew, I believe they were hooking up before the whole music thing. I don't think it was the music thing, because in Atlanta, you're not going to Dennis McKinley, the hot dog king, self-proclaimed. You're not going to him for your music. Everyone's like, he's into music. Drew is an established person, not necessarily in music, but she's already established. There's so many music producers that Drew Sidora could be working with in Atlanta. I feel like they were screwing. They were doing the in and the out. And that's when they were like, well, I used to do music. Kenya asked the question that we all ask. So if he was so passionate about music, why didn't he do anything with Porsha when Porsha had her short-lived music career? Why didn't he do something with Porsha? Because he was already doing the in and the out with Porsha. He didn't need to, he also knew Porsha can't sing. Drew can sing. Say what you want. Drew can definitely sing. Our Tauruses are singing on this season. Winter says, Dennis is not cute to me, sorry. He's all right. Look, he's not ugly. But his behavior makes him even uglier. His behavior makes him a troll. And the fact that he is doing all this social media behavior, before I had no problem with Dennis, I was like, whatever. But the more that he's been trolling, and now we see that he's doing confessionals with Porsha this season, I'm like, oh my God, here goes this thirsty mother father on this show. Like I'm already over. I'm already over Dennis being involved in any shape or form. If you're doing so well in the hot dog arena, but again, these folks want fame. They want their name out there. And apparently it looks like he's been with half the cast. He went on a date with Britt Eady. He slipped into he hasn't been with her. He slipped into DMs of Kelli. He's been with Porsha. He's been with Drew, that she hasn't confirmed yet, but I believe it. I believe it. Okay. So Kenya's asking the question. So if he does music, why didn't he do any music with Porsha? Porsha, the fact that your song was called Flatline, I remember when you came to New York and you were promoting it at the gay club. The gays support anything, don't they? Flatline. Terrible. Terrible. I'm so glad she gave that up. Okay, stick with the hair and the sheets. Is she still doing the sheets? I need some sheets. I'm not ordering from her. Anyway, okay. So we had that moment with Drew and Kenya. Okay. Kelli. So we get to see Kelli. We for those that have been paying attention to the streets, we found out that Kelli, she's since been divorced, but she's in the middle of her divorce during filming. Okay. So she talks about what she went through with this man. May have been cheating, may have been like abuse, because she said the cops have been called to the house and there's some stuff that she didn't even want to talk about. Then she talks about her own business. And I've already slowly been seeing, because you know how they've been like pushing us on social media, like sharing a lot about these folks. So apparently Kelli owns a restaurant or maybe multiple restaurants. I know Nana's Chicken and Waffle. I've never been. Um, any good, guys? You know I love a good waffle. Have you been? Have you been? What's it? Cristal on TikTok. If you don't enjoy what you're watching, you can leave. Please. And look, and please. If you feel that you don't like my opinion on my opinion, you can leave. Please leave, actually, before you get blocked. I'll give you a heads up. Look. There we go. Sorry, TikTok. And some people are like, well, you're sharing your opinion. Why can't we share ours? Because this is my platform. This is my show. Okay. And we have people that call in that don't necessarily agree, but it's all about how you share your opinion. You don't come into someone's house and be like, why you hating? Why you hating? Thank you for the gifts, TikTok. Thank you, iHeart Diva. Why you hating? How about like, I don't agree with you, Kempire. All right. Anyway. All right. Moving on. So with Kelli. So Kelli apparently has for those of you that are in Atlanta, have you tried her waffles? She has like a waffle mix. I want to get the maple syrup with the gold in it. I love a good waffle. When I go back to Atlanta, I will be coming back, Atlanta. Look, Atlanta. Are we that friendly? I could call y'all Atlanta and not Atlanta. Right, Atlanta? All right. Judgy just said, this is not Kempire and the Kempettes. Have you guys had the waffles? Can I order it on DoorDash down there? But she also sells a waffle mix, but that means I have to cook it. I don't want to cook it. But good for her. But apparently, yeah. Oh, Tyrese says, yes, the waffles are good. Look, my mouth is drooling. She says she's the queen of waffles. That's a big thing to say. But now that she said it, people are going to be like, yeah, that's Kelli, the queen of waffles. All right. Oh, JMW says it's good. Kelli's food's way better than Candy's restaurant. Why we gotta? Okay, I that's what JMW says. Okay. So she has this chicken and waffle business. She's got multiple products. She's got books. Okay. She's going through this divorce. Her daughter's a Taurus. This is like the theme of the episode. Her daughter's a Taurus, turning 17. She's having this tea party for her, and she got her 17 gifts. It made it seem as if she got 17 bags, but it seemed like she got other gifts as well. It was definitely 17 gifts for her 17th birthday. And look, I don't have a problem with her getting, bags and things like that. The bags can be resold sometimes for more money, if not the equivalent of how much you paid for them. So I don't see a problem with that. She's a girl. This is what she wants. And I know people are like, well, she could be saving that money. How do we not? We have to also keep in mind, especially in this day and age, we know a lot of people that are fake and are broke and don't have money and don't save. I don't know Kelli's pockets, okay? But for all we know, Kelli could be doing both. That girl could have an investment portfolio and she's got bags. Why can't she have both? Other people of the other skin tone have both. Why can't Kelli's 17-year-old daughter, who's a Taurus, have both? I mean, I don't have 17 luxury bags, but I got a couple of luxury bags. But I also have a stock portfolio and savings in a 401k. Why can't we have both? The Diva Nail edit says the tea party was cute. Yeah. Why can't she have both? And maybe she does have both. But we also have to keep in mind you're not going to get the context. Bravo just wants to show you, production just wants to show you, Kelli's that girl. Kelli's rich. Kelli has. So everyone's, of course, at the reunion, going to, well, everyone's talking about how you got, and I'm sure every interview she does, everyone's going to ask her this. Kelli, I just gave you your answer. Okay? She has both. Come on. She has land, she's got a portfolio, a stock portfolio, and she has 17 luxury bags that she can resell or pass down to her own daughter. There you go, Kelli. and she's the heir. She's the heir to the waffle kingdom. Okay. She's the heir to the waffle kingdom. So good for her. All right, back to Porsha. So we have this cute scene of Porsha trying to get into the elevator to her divorce attorney. They do a split screen of Porsha going there in 2013, and now 10, 11 years later, 11 years later, she's going back to the same divorce attorney. I was actually surprised that she's going to this divorce attorney, but I'm guessing Cordell had an ironclad prenup because she ended up on her mama's couch after that divorce. So she's back here, and here's my thing with Porsha and this divorce. So we've learned a lot in regards to since this relationship even got together. Okay? And what was it, like Mother's Day weekend 3 years ago or something like that, that Porsha sort of like hard launched her relationship with Simon? So Porsha is like, she says that she found some untruths from Simon. But we have to remember, before Porsha married Simon, the streets had been talking. When she hard launched this relationship, the streets dug up a lot of information on Simon. Fine, she doesn't have to believe what the streets are saying. But Porsha, we found out last week, had to delay her weddings, her traditional wedding and her African wedding, because Simon was not being transparent, was not delivering the paperwork in regards to his assets. So they had to delay the wedding because the prenup was not done. Because of Simon, allegedly, I'll say. I think this is in court documents. So already, he was already been funny. She says she had questions about Simon. She's like, why, when we're traveling, why do we have to be in the second line? Why do we have to be in the second line? What's the second line? Can someone explain to me what the second line is? Look, is it the regular line where it's not a global entry? That long line? We don't know that life over here, right, y'all? No, we got our global entry. We got that little passport thingy. Thank you. Yes, our attorney in Helpless Esquire says the delay made sense. You can't sign a prenup without financial disclosure, and he was not disclosing. He was not providing the actual paperwork so that they could finalize their prenup so they can get married. Okay. Oh, Blue Hoodie says it's the extra screening. So the red flags were there because remember, before she married him, they were traveling all the time. So she knows the red flags had been hitting her in the face. So this is why I find it so hard to feel sorry for Porsha. Like the red flags were there. So she starts boo-hooing in this man's office. She did. She started boo-hooing. I saw one tear. I did see a tear. For those that say I didn't see any tear. No, I saw one tear come down. Okay. So she said she filed for divorce in order to protect assets. She filed for divorce to protect the asset of the home. Because the home is like $7 million. She didn't buy the home, but in the prenup, he put that as a 50-50 split with her. Even though he put in the prenup that this was a marital asset, even though she didn't buy the home. So if they sell it and they make a cool buck off of it, she's getting 50-50 of that. Even though she didn't put any money into it, allegedly. She probably bought furniture and stuff, but who knows? If anything, I was like, Porsha, you did your big one on this one. He thought he was scamming you, and you kind of got him. Good. Good. Simon been scamming the U.S. since the 1980s, before she was even born. Okay? Before some of us were even born. He been scamming. Okay? Credit card fraud, bank fraud. And look, understandably, that information came out after they were married in regards to that. Or did it? I know it became big public news then, but I think some of the content creators already found that out before the marriage. Okay. Tasha, I think you might be having the problem. Everyone else seems to be able to hear. Okay. Look, Miss Esquire says 50% of equity is good. And mind you, you put nothing into it, but you just automatically get it out of a divorce. Can I be mad? Can I be mad at watching these two scammers try to scam each other and one wins? Okay. Oh, wait, someone said they love this glass you talking about? Ooh. I don't know. I don't remember. I've had this glass for years. I don't remember where I got these glasses from. Sorry. I've had it such a long time. All right. Back to this, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. And don't forget, we've launched the special Apple subscription podcast where I'm recapping The White Lotus. I just dropped a special episode over the weekend of my recap of The Traitors US season finale and reunion. Be sure to check that out. But this is not just going to be White Lotus and Traitor. It's going to be where I talk about things that I don't talk about anywhere else. Shout out to those of you that have already subscribed. You do have a free 3-day trial. There's only a couple more days left for those to access it, so you can get a taste. There's already 4 new episodes on the podcast. So subscribe today. I did hear, for those that don't have an Apple product, you can subscribe via the website. So check it out and let me know what you think. Okay. All right. So Porsha's at the divorce attorney. This is where we're getting a better perspective as what happened. So she says she posted on Valentine's Day, but she already knew that things were not great. Apparently something happened around Valentine's Day, and she basically says that she felt like he was not being fully transparent with her. But he showed you that he wasn't being fully transparent with you before you got married. The whole prenup situation was a red flag. But I believe you already had a bunch of red flags beforehand. That's why I don't feel sorry for Porsha. I was like, you knew what you were getting into. Not a lot of people, not a lot of women can say the same. You knew exactly what you were getting into. You also saw how he treated Fallon. But maybe in your head, you justified it because she got pregnant by the pool boy. Right? All right. So, Porsha also says this. I don't believe you, Porsha. I don't believe that you were sexually attracted to this man. I told you guys a long time ago, I didn't believe Porsha was sleeping with this man, but okay. That's just me. So she says, it was my joy to wake up in the morning and, and try to figure out how to make Simon happy. Really? Oh my God. Really? Simon? Simon Gobadia? That man? She said that was her joy, to wake up in the morning. And I saw her Breakfast Club interview. For those that, I didn't get a chance to watch it before, but I did end up watching over the weekend. And she really, Porsha has a very interesting relationship with the truth. I'm not going to call her a liar, but she has a very interesting relationship with the truth. Very much like her relationship with Simon. It's estranged. Porsha has an estranged relationship with the truth.
Lies! The lies!
She has an estranged relationship with the truth. Right? Okay. Very estranged relationship with the truth. She woke up in the morning. She says, how am I going to make Simon happy today? What I do believe her, because she talked about this on the Breakfast Club, is that having a child really changed her perspective on life and her goals and protecting herself. And that's why she did what she did with Simon. No, I believe Porsha had this in her. This was something that she was going to do. She also tries to make it seem as if, she said this on Watch What Happens Live, but the Breakfast Club as well, she didn't want Simon to get detained by ICE. I can believe that. But she says that was the reason why she did not want to go to court in person, was for him. And she knew the climate. Porsha, come on. Porsha Peach Juice Williams sometimes go Badia. Okay. You ain't got me fooled. Okay? Okay. Pamela says, if you said strange or estranged, both seem to be true in regards to Portia's relationship with the truth. Yeah. All right. All right, let's move on. So we then get this scene with Shamea, Britt. We get to meet Britt and Kelli. And they're all the newbies. Shamea's been friends with them. They like each other. What was the vibe it was giving? It was definitely not giving Real Housewives of Atlanta. Watching that scene again this morning, and I know everyone keeps saying it reminds them of Love and Hip Hop. This scene definitely, for me, gave Love and Hip Hop. I was just sort of like, Because even when you go back to the early years, the first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? And Nene and all of them were probably younger than these women. Even they gave mature. This was giving, and again, reality television is different now because it's been on for so long. Atlanta in the yesteryear, we didn't have a lot to compare to. So a lot of people were just kind of just doing it, okay? And it was very pure, very natural. But I was sort of like, okay. So Britt got an upgrade to her ring. Britt's husband. Can we talk about Britt's husband real quick? Just in case I forget to talk about it later. Go rewind the tape. Go look back at Shamea's birthday party and they're in the kitchen. He's always got the screw face on. Like, for those who listen to the podcast, you're gonna have to watch the YouTube version. Every single time he was like looking at something in the distance, like with a screw face. I was like, why he always got the screw face on? He's interesting. I got my eye on him. He's always got the screw face on. Shay says, Kempire, somebody said they have a lavender marriage. Britt and her husband. Someone in the TikTok says, newbie says, is Britt's husband the okay. Back to this. So Britt's got an upgrade to her ring. Britt's got an upgrade from a 7 carat to a 10 carat. Beautiful ring. Why is her ring not fit though? I know some women like to wear their ring a little loose. It just feels like it's too loose. Like you're going to lose that 10 carat ring, madam. Okay? I don't know, but fine. So Kelli says that Porsha should have never taken that girl's man. So Kelly's already putting it out there to Shamea, like, what's going on with that? And I'm going to say this. Porsha thought after leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta, conveniently, after taking Fallon's man, whatever. We know this whole situation with Fallon. Like, I don't feel bad for Fallon either. But we know that mess that we covered week after week. Porsha thought leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta when she did that, I'll take a break and then come back, that no one was going to talk about it. And mind you, if Kelli didn't talk about it, I'm sure someone else would have talked about it. Kenya's would have probably talked about it. People expected Kenya to talk about it. But I already know someone was going to talk about it because production, the network is going to talk about it. Ask it. So I'm not mad at Kelli for bringing it up because honestly, it is the elephant in the room, right? Isn't it the elephant in the room? Where's my elephant? Look. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. Come on. And mind you, she's also someone that may have been cheated on. She's getting a divorce. So for the peach juices rise. For the peach juices, they're going to be mad at Kelli. Oh, she was trying to have a moment. Yeah, but I can appreciate her asking the question. Ask the question. Because it's obvious we've waited 3 years for Porsha to come back onto the show so we can ask the question. And anytime someone asks the question, she blocks them. That's why I got blocked, because I did a video talking about her explanation of her relationship with Simon. That says, Porsha's got an interesting relationship with the truth. And mind you, before that, we had already been covering this divorce situation multiple times, but I guess that was the last straw. Porsha loves to block people. It's okay, Porsha. I still get to see the information. I don't care. I can stay blocked. And she's like, and you will. Okay. So she brings that up. Shamea explains, like, no, they broke up. He had broken up with that. Mind you, shout out to the production and editors. They show the timeline of things, and literally, was it 14 days later about that relationship? There definitely was some sort of overlap. But Fallon's not innocent. Fallon's probably so happy that her name's even being mentioned. She's not, and she's still back. She's back with that boy. Well, they have a kid together. Anyway. So they flash back, of course, when Porsha met Simon. Simon looked very different back then. So they flash back to that moment. And Kelly's just like what happened there? So then they end up talking about Dennis. And Britt says that she heard that Drew is dating Dennis. This leads to Kelly talking about how Dennis slipped into her DMs. She said she left him on red. She didn't speak. Okay. All right. Oh, 18 days? Okay. Whoop-de-doo, y'all. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. The peach juices want me to clarify. I'm playing. It wasn't 14 days. It was 18. Okay. 4 days. Okay. So they talk about Dennis, the troll, slipping in Kelly's DMs. Apparently, back when Britt was in high school, I don't know how old Dennis is. When Britt was in high school, she went on a date with him, and he gave her a diamond necklace. Okay. All right. Fine. What else happened? Look, here's the thing. I know that people will be like, "Oh, this was a great fun scene. I'm loving the." I watched it 2 times. That scene was like, to me. Okay, we got some tea. We get where people are coming from. All right. We'll see what episode 2 brings. Moving on. All right. Let's talk about Porsha and Shamea. Again, after watching that scene that looked like Love and Hip Hop, then we get a scene at the strip club. No, we're having lunch, maybe dinner, and we're going to do it at the strip club. If this was not giving Love and Hip Hop, I don't know what else will. Okay. But Shamea wants to get her friend out because her friend is going through things. Fine. Shamea shows Porsha a text that Simon sent her. Simon congratulating Shamea on getting her peach. Okay. And she's like, oh, that's so nice of you. Thanks, bro. How would you feel about your best friend calling your soon-to-be ex-husband bro? Porsha didn't like it. But here's the thing. You brought this man into our lives. You married this man. I just can't help but say, bro, like, you want me to be mad automatically because you mad at him? Like, I don't know if Shamea knows the full story. I'm hoping that's your best friend. But okay. Yeah, I do know that. Someone KJ says lunch at the strip club is normal here in Atlanta. We've had 15 years of Atlanta, and we've never seen that. And I know in Atlanta, the strip clubs is every day for some type of people. Okay, Love it, hip hop folks. But okay. So we're seeing them clap it. Look, we're seeing them clap it during lunch. Look, we're having lunch, and then the girls clapping all the stuff in my drink. All right. So, Shamea brings up about Drew hanging out with Dennis. And do I believe that Porsha didn't know about this? I don't know if I believe that. Oh, wait, no. Before she even brings up Dennis, she brings up Kelly and what Kelly had to say about taking that lady's man. So already Portia's like, oh, here she go. I don't know why she's surprised. One of the women were going to do it, regardless. Be it Kelly, be it Angela, Britt, someone was going to bring it up. And if they didn't, I would have looked at them like they're crazy. Or why are we not talking about the things? So Shamea tells Porsha that Kelli brought that up and was asking questions. Okay. So Porsha's sort of like, oh my God, what is this now? What are these antics that people are coming with? Yeah, we're coming because, girl, you left the show at the height of it. So I'm glad someone's talking about it. And honestly, I know that Porsha and Kenya were in a better place this season, but I do believe Kenya still would have brought it up. Maybe she would have just did it differently, but she definitely would have brought it up. As she should. Someone should. If we're going to talk about reality. I'll say this. Okay, wait. Thank you, Aisha, for the... Britt is 37 and Dennis is 44. So there's a 7-year age difference. So let's say Britt was 17 in high school. So he was 24 buying diamond necklaces for a high schooler? Look. 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 And I'm being generous by saying she was 17. 18, what he was like 25 with a high schooler. Am I surprised by that? They also said this man likes the zoo, so. All right, let's move on. What are you talking about? Moving on. Let me say thank you. We had quite a few super chats, but we have nearly 2,800 of you watching on YouTube and on Facebook. We appreciate you guys being here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Like the video. It's easy, it's free, and it's a way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel as well for those that are recapping Real Housewives of Atlanta. But if you're new here, we don't just talk about Housewives. We don't just talk about reality television. We cover everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out some of the things that you may have already missed in regards to some of the stories that we covered just last week. All right, let me say thank you. We had quite a few super chats, and shout out to our members. We appreciate you guys as well. Nia, thank you so much for the super chat. Nia says, after watching the first episode, I was so shocked to see this side of Shamea. I feel like Porsha was trying to imitate Shamea's life, and Shamea is more of a friend to Porsha than Porsha is to her. I believe that. We're talking about a Taurus and a Cancer. If you have a Taurus as a friend, please understand, and they call you friend, not those of you that call the Taurus the friend. If a Taurus calls you a friend, that is a friend for life. That is the level of loyalty. Mind you, these women have known each other since they were little girls. This is not a friendship of adulthood. They've known each other since they were little girls. Thank you so much for the super chat, Nia. Toya, thank you so much for the super chat. Toya says, hi, Kempire. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. I don't know about the new girls. I'm trying to give it a time, but I was bored this episode. I thought I would be the only one, but I come here and I tell my truth, not my Porsha truth. Her estrangement with the truth. No. I tell you how I feel, no matter what the streets are saying, no matter how many other people are going to be like, I like it. Some of those folks are saying they like it because they want to be invited to the things. I don't care to be invited to the things. I like to be at home. Toya says, I'm just trying to give it a time, but I was bored with this episode. Yeah, just saying. Okay. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to all our members that send super chats. I appreciate, first of all, your monthly subscription, but also I appreciate the super chat. So thank you so much. Ariana says, Kemp, Portia's blocking shade. Oh, okay. Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Bernice says, Kenya gave lies and messiness. Don't miss her. And I know there's a lot of people that agree with you, Bernice. But the fact that she was there, sort of like there, like in your peripheral, I was like, damn, Kenya. But it's Kenya's fault. Shar, thank you so much for the super chat. Shar says, that's what I missed about Kenya. Boom. Yeah. Scarlett, thank you so much for the super chat. Scarlett says Porsha wanted a wedding and what's it like and what it's like to be a bride. Yeah, and to have two weddings. And now she swears she's Nigerian. Look, I'm Nigerian too. Based off her, I forgot what percentage I think I'm actually more percentage than she is. I gotta go back and look at my 23andMe. But now all of a sudden she's like, I'm Nigerian. I can appreciate embracing your roots, but at the same time, girl. Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Keith says something in the milk ain't clean because if he lied about his finances and married her under false pretenses, can't she file an annulment? Look, I'm not an attorney. Attorneys chime in. Speaking of attorney, Miss Esquire, let me shimmy for the $20. Let me shimmy for the $20. Okay, like I'm at the strip club with Porsha and Shamea. Oh wait, let me twerk too, cause I'm with Shamea. Let me twerk too. I really don't twerk like that, y'all. I can't remember the last time I actually twerked, besides twerking on a fence. Okay. Miss Esquire says proposing in less than a fortnight of ending his marriage was a sign of that man's character. Exactly. Exactly. But here's the thing: when you look at all the cast of characters, Fallon, Simon, Porsha, Jalen, all these people, like none of these people I can be like, yeah, none of them, not one. Juliet, thank you so much for the super chat. Juliet says, I couldn't wait to hear what you have to say this episode, and it completely coincides with my thoughts about the episode. Thank you, Juliet. I thought I was alone. I thought I'd be out here by myself. And look, there might be moments that I'll be out here by myself. But guess what? That's the stubbornness of a Taurus that I embrace. I'm going to stand on my opinion, no matter who agrees with it or not. Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Bernice says Shamea put in the work by having a real career and was blessed with her husband. Porsha just wants the rich lifestyle and being taken care of. Shamea's life. Yeah, look, yeah. But, you know, Porsha's got her own stuff, too. Porsha knew that she needed to come back to work. Okay. But I have to give it to Porsha. That prenup stipulation with the house, that was a good move. If she's going to, scam a scammer. JMW, thank you so much for the super chat. JMW says, it's definitely the elephant in the room, especially now that you're getting a divorce and now you back with Dennis and not Simon. Exactly. Someone had to bring it up. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the super chat. Elizabeth says, I didn't realize it was in a strip club until I saw the booty cheek. I knew immediately because they showed dancers. I was like, wait a minute. So you may have missed that part. But then, yes, and when they started showing the clapping of the over your drink. Ew. But again, a lot of people say, well, that's Atlanta. Okay, I went to Atlanta. That's not what I was doing. But I do hear the food at the strip clubs are good in Atlanta. I'm sorry. I'm all about my ambiance. Yes, the food could be good, but if my ambiance is sweaty butt cheeks clapping, no. Nia, thank you so much for another super chat and for being a member. Nia, let me shimmy because you said couple super chats. Let me shimmy. And now people say, Kempire, are you still shimmying at your big age? Yes. Nia says, Porsha better be happy Marla wasn't there. As soon as she would have walked through the door, she would have said, hey, husband stealer. Ladies, hide your man. Right? Come on, let's be honest. Porsha thought, though, she was going to be Queen Bee and that no one was going to hold her accountable because she is the Queen Bee. But no. Keith, thank you so much for another super chat. Keith says, I felt like these new girls were thirsty. No hello or nice to meet you, just why you stole that woman's husband. I do think that Kelli could have handled it a little bit better, but we also have to keep in mind that we're watching an edited show. For all we know, there could have been more of a conversation, then all of a sudden it turned into that. I'm giving them grace, but it does feel that's the way it happened. Yeah. Thank you, Keith, for the super chat. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the super chat. Jocelyn says, I don't care for Shamea. She seems fake. I don't think fake is the word I would use for Shamea. I don't think fake is the word for me. It might be something else, but fake is not the word for me. I mean, I think I've already kind of said it, but we will revisit in just a second. So we had that conversation with Shamea and Porsha where she drops the tea about Drew also possibly dating Dennis. Okay, and working with Dennis, and Porsha seems a little blindsided by that. Okay. Speaking of Porsha, so Porsha's getting ready for Shamea's birthday party, and Porsha FaceTimes with Cynthia. So we get to see Cynthia, and this must have been when they were deciding, these people are coming back. Cynthia, as you know, is a friend of this season. I don't know. Did you guys see the footage from the premiere? Cynthia seemed out of place. Cynthia seemed like, yeah, like as if she didn't fit in, as if she hasn't been on the show for like 11 years. All right, so it's sort of like I felt like me as someone that doesn't love to go out, and when I do go out, it's like, oh God, what time can I go home? Um, I got secondhand embarrassment, not embarrassment though, because I wasn't embarrassed for her. I was more like secondhand, like I want to go home, like I'm not comfortable, right? Okay. Um, so she FaceTimes with Porsha. Cynthia and Porsha FaceTime, and this is where Portia's like, I'm 40% Nigerian. Because Cynthia's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about everything going on with you and Simon. I was hoping that we could go to Nigeria. This is before Cynthia got her new man, her Amsterdam. Okay. So Cynthia was like, she's like, we can still go to Nigeria. I got family there. Okay, girl. I got family there. And then they're talking about Drew, and then she's like, "Oh, Drew's being supported. Drew has a support system with Dennis." So she's already throwing the shade out there about a possibility of Drew and Dennis. Britt already said the streets have been talking about Drew and Dennis. Drew, of all the people that you could hook up with, Dennis, but Drew probably fell for him sliding in her DMs and was like, yeah, Drew, I want better for you. But then again, you chose Ralph. So that already tells me your picker is not that great. So Kelli arrives early for Shamea's birthday party. Shamea already did a little song and dance with her mama. She's like, Mom, mind you, right outside her theater. You saw her theater? Yeah. Come on, y'all love, this is why y'all watching the show. Y'all so impressed by the hounds of theater. Yay. So she's outside her theater singing her song, Let the Rain. I thought she was going to sing SWV's Rain Down, Fall on Me. I thought she was going to do that, but then no, you don't want the rain. You want the rain to go away. Okay, so she sings that, fine. She wanted to highlight her voice. I can promise you she's probably not doing that normally, but the cameras are there, so Shamea's like, Shamea's already, this is what I hate about Housewives and reality TV. Drew's releasing an album, I think this week or soon, or yesterday she released a song. Shamea's like, I got a new song coming I got an album. Okay. So that's her singing on camera is to let you guys know I can sing. And she can. And she performed the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem, at the Atlanta Hawks game recently. Sounded great, but okay. We know what she's doing. It's the setup for her music career. As she should. Like, does she have to work? She doesn't. Her husband does very well for himself. I can appreciate, as a tourist, I get it. Because when I get my billionaire, I will still be here with y'all every once in a while, not every week. I'll still be here slumming it with y'all. I'm gonna still look. Once I have my billionaire, I'll be on my laptop though from whatever villa, and like let's talk about that episode, y'all. All the billionaires calling. I gotta go, y'all. Kempire, we only been on for like 15 minutes. Gotta go. Billionaire talks. Okay, bye, y'all. I'm be acting brand new, brand new. Y'all be like, damn, he got a little change. Hey, now you acting a little strange. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Come on now. But I understand as a tourist, I would still want to have my own. You can have the billions. I need to have my own millions because you ain't going to leave me out here homeless like Porsha. So for those that know Shamea is out here hustling. She's had multiple jobs, even though she doesn't necessarily have to work. I can appreciate that, but I can relate to that because I know as a tourist, we like the finer things in life. Okay. Miss Esquire. I was so glad I saw this comment. Miss Esquire says, Kempire gonna be like, I wake up every morning trying to make the billionaire happy. And honestly, that's what I would refer to him as to y'all. Because y'all not gonna know his name, y'all not gonna see him. I'm like, yeah, the billionaire, you know. Gotta go, y'all. Billionaire, please hurry up because we gotta get married before they overturn it. Look. April says, watch that membership price is gonna go. No one's mentioned my beautiful artwork behind me. You know how hard I work in order to bring y'all new things to the studio and y'all don't appreciate it? I'm playing. Billionaire. The billionaire bought it. Chrissy, thank you so much for the super chat. Chrissy says, Kemp, not too much on Angela this season. Her hubby used to be known for smacking people, allegedly, but Google him. KSPN reporting from the field. I know. He was a Knicks. He's banned from MSG. Okay? I know, but he ain't smacking me. I'd be just like Dr. Gregory from Married to Medicine. Police. And take all his money. But so far, I like Angela. And her 1990s nose. She's a Taurus. I like her. Paulette, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Paulette says, Kempire, I respect you like an uncle, but the 17 bags was tacky. Shallow women producing more shallow women. Excuse me? Look, excuse me? Look. But again, if that's what she likes, why not? She wanted a Birkin, her daughter. Kelly's daughter wanted a Birkin. Yonsei, thank you so much for the roses. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys as well. That's what she wanted. Okay? Seven says, known for smacking people. Yeah. Apparently, he got into a fight at Madison Square Garden with security, and that's why he got arrested. I mean, they dropped the charges, I think, but I heard he's banned from Madison Square Garden. Ashley says, Kempire will be walking around saying, my husband in every other sentence. Miss Esquire says, where's the audio, Kempire? I want to be free from cringy Dr. Gregory. Nia says, Angela, not that Michael knows. She may be related. If you grew up in a certain period of time, a lot of people were getting that nose job until they started really doing tasteful nose jobs. There were a lot of people doing nose jobs like that. So it's very obvious. It really is like a throwback to a time. But you know, now they're able to do more tasteful noses. Yeah, that used to be a time. Okay. Toya, thank you so much for the super chat. Toya says Cynthia was giving I'm over this, right? Even at Shamea's party. All right, before we get into Shamea's party, so Kelli arrives early. So Shamea told her to come early because she wanted to let her know that she told Porsha about the comments that she made. And Kelli was like, I kind of already knew because Porsha was already talking. Do you remember Porsha was talking on Amazon Live? She was doing all the things. She already was sort of hinting at issues with Kelli back then. All right. So she already kind of knew. All right. Today's live is also brought to you. All my skincare today is by our friends over at Buttah. If you follow me on socials this weekend, you saw I've showed you a little bit of my skincare routine. So of course, I got to bring it back for you guys. You all have asked, Kempire, drop the skincare routine. Well, now I am. I am so excited about our new partnership with Buttah. I've been following the company for many, many years, and I know a lot of you are probably already familiar with their products. So I've been able to try their products for the last few weeks, and I have to say, I am utterly impressed. I'm not going to go through my nightly routine or my other routines because I have a morning routine, a nightly routine, I have a weekly routine, I have a monthly routine in regards to my skincare. So there is a whole system, but you have to start somewhere. So why not start now? First of all, let me talk about my morning routine. So I gotta wash my face. You have to find the right cleanser, all right? And not all cleansers are made the same. Start with a cleanser, gives me a good lather. Once I'm doing that, another key component to your skincare, don't use the towel that you use to dry your hands or to dry your body on your face. They have These high quality, silky soft towels. You use it once and you throw it out. I love that. It's going to change your skincare routine. Once you're done with that, put on vitamin C. This is a game changer. For those that say, Kempire, your skin is glowing. Game changer, vitamin C. I will also say this, because I've tried so many different skincare products, I can tell quality versus not so quality. Quality so far from everything I've tried. There's also a very key component. And then after you've done your vitamin C, it's time to put on your moisturizer. Cocoa Shea Revitalizing Cream. I love this because I've tried some other companies and I'm not going to name them. Some are too thin or too thick or too scenty. This is perfect. And I do not say that lightly, and I'm not saying that because it's a partnership. I would tell you the truth. If you know me, you know that. Perfect consistency. When I've used this literally today, this woman that I met, she's like, oh my God, you have perfect skin. I can't tell you the amount of times that people tell me that, but here's the final and key component, sunscreen. Very important, and I love the fact that they sent me the perfect system. Sunscreen, tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. SPF 90 you don't need. I don't know why they sell it, but it is what it is. So we've partnered with Buttah, and I hope that you will get you a little something. For those that have been asking, what is your skincare routine? I just gave you my morning routine. Stay tuned for the nightly routine and other things. More information on our partnership is available at buttahskin.com/Kempire. All of that information will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah. Thanks, Buttah, for sponsoring today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shout out to those of you that have already got a little something for yourself. Thank you, Tessa. I did buy some. I did buy some of the face towels thanks to Kempire. Thank you so much, Tesker. Tesker says Kempire is a really good spokesperson. Thank you. Appreciate that. Seven says, I bought 2 boxes of the Butter Silky Soft towels and love them. Really great towels. Like, I feel bad throwing them in the garbage when I'm done, but you need to. Don't be reusing. Nasty. Allie says, Kempire, show the washcloth longer for those in the back that don't use one. I mean, look, nothing surprises me nowadays. The things that we learn on social media through viral videos, I'm like, okay. But if you want the proper skincare, I just gave you my morning routine. Stay tuned for my nighttime routine. More information on them will be available in the description. Okay, hold on. Okay, so back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to select the video. It's easy, it's free. Let me drop the call-in link for our channel members first before I get into Shamea's birthday party, because I do have a lot of thoughts. Thank God that commercial was long. I went to use the restroom. Yep, Not the way Shamea used her restroom, though. No. That wasn't enough time for me, okay? My bidet takes longer than 3 minutes, okay? All right. Let me drop this for our members, please, and hold. I should have done this while I was doing that, right? Sorry. Excuse me. Let me do this here. Okay. All right. Members. Okay, and shout out to those of you that are members. Live chat. Mods, can you just let me know how many likes we should get to before I drop the call link for the general audience? But members, I've dropped the call link for you guys to share your thoughts. Please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone. I will be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern for our Married to Medicine recap. That is, what is that? 1 p.m. PST, okay? And our clocks went forward this weekend, okay? I'm okay with it. I feel okay. I don't know how everyone else is feeling on this Monday morning, but I feel okay. Alex says, y'all don't use washcloths? Alex, where you been? Alex is back. All right, so Shamea's birthday party, her 42nd birthday party. We get to see Cynthia Bailey on camera for the first time in this moment. And she's like, oh my God, this is such an amazing house. Her house is so amazing. She doesn't even have an address. Beautiful home. Okay. All right. And this is where we learn what Gerald, her husband, Shamea's husband, does. He does HVACs. And apparently it does very well for him. He has large contracts and things like that. Okay. We also get a chance to meet Angela Oakley. Take a sip every time Angela Oakley says, I'm married to Charles Barkley. I'm Charles Barkley. Charles Oakley. I'm married to Charles Oakley. She said it multiple times. I guess that's her flex. Okay. I mean, she loves her man. My man, my man, my man. The judge justice says king of HVACs. I mean, if he's doing this well, good for him. At least we can account for what he actually does. To this day, I think we still have no real solid idea what Simon does. Do I believe Simon has money? I do, but I also believe Simon is a scammer as well. You can be both. You can have some a cute coin, but I also believe he's a scammer. All right, our mods are saying that we need to get to 1,300 likes. We are less than 300 likes away. That should be easy. We have 3,000 of you here watching, right? Right. Okay. And a room full of members backstage. Thank you to our members. We appreciate your support. All right. So at Shamea's birthday party, we see some of the housewives arriving. Kelly's there. Angela's there. Cynthia and Kelly, they sit down for a conversation. They find out they're both Pisces. Okay. Happy Pisces season's about to end. It's about to be Aries season. Okay. In about what, like 10 more days? Okay. So they're sitting down catching up, and this is where Kelly tells Cynthia about asking about Porsha stealing someone's husband. And Cynthia's like, oh my gosh, she just came out the gate with this. Mm-hmm. And apparently she didn't appreciate the fact that Shamea told Porsha. My thing is you can't say something like that and not expect someone's best friend not to tell them, especially on a reality television show. Eventually Portia's going to see this regardless. Okay. So they talk about that. Kenya arrives, and I have to say, and it could be an edit, but I'm just going to base my opinion off of what we saw. Kenya's energy towards Britt felt off. And I don't know if things had been said about each other beforehand, but it felt off. And in comparison to how Kenya greeted Kelly and then even Angela, it felt different. And maybe we're reading too much into it because we know what happens later between these two. But there is some shade thrown from Kenya towards Britt because she's looking at her ring. She has her like engagement ring, her 10-carat ring. And she's like, oh, so you're engaged? And she's like, oh, no. But she seemed like confused. I also had the question in regards to where's the wedding band? And again, not everyone wears a wedding band, but I probably would have asked that too. Like, are you engaged? Well, then it leads to a little shade thrown between the two women, and Britt doesn't appreciate it. And she talks about how she doesn't appreciate it to the, in her confessional. Sidebar, go rewinding back time to when Britt and Angela arrived and they were in Shamea's kitchen. And I'm seeing the two husbands talk in the back, Charles and I don't even know Britt's husband's name. I just remember him with the screw face. He had like a screw face, permanent screw face on. You know, I was like, why is he making that face? I'm going to leave the other stuff alone for now. I'm going to keep watching, okay? I'm going to keep watching. But he had a big screw face on. All right. So Kenya arrives. There's this weird interaction. But I will say this. No matter how you feel about Kenya, of everything that happened in this show, the shade that was being thrown didn't land. A lot of the things that these new housewives or even people that have been there before that have said, you're not going to remember. But you know what I am going to remember? When Britt talks about how she met her husband and Kenya was just like, what did she say? I remember. Did I write it down? Oh no, I didn't write it down. Oh man, I wanted to write it down because I thought it was funny what Kenya says. Oh, so he was more than a good neighbor or something like that. Something to that effect. Speaking of remembering it, but I can't remember. But to me, it's what stood out. It's the same thing that I'm thinking of as I'm recapping the show. Okay, so I'm like, see, that is a classic Housewives, and I'm sort of like, and I get it. We're evolving, we're growing, we're trying to mature, we're trying to, get a different energy. But I was sort of like, that is what I felt was missing. Yes, it was the State Farm quote. And I was sort of like, that is kind of what we were missing in the episode. Those types of moments. Okay. Charlie says that when Kenya is jealous, she will rip another woman apart. I do not like unnecessary bullying. Well, in that moment, I don't feel like she was ripping her apart. I'm not saying that Kenya hasn't done that before, but in that moment, I don't feel like she was ripping her apart. Okay. Um, everything by Jamel says, I don't know. It didn't feel shady to me on Kenya's part. It might be editing. Again, it could be editing, but something felt off between Britt and Kenya. And then there was a little back and forth about the engagement. Was this exactly, April? It was the State Farm jingle. For some reason, thank you. Like a good neighbor. But for me, it was sort of like, it was clever, but that's what people appreciate from Kenya. The cleverness that she'll bring to a moment. That's what we do appreciate about Kenya, and that I felt like was missing from the episode. Mr. Mellon Manager says, "Child, not bullying. It was light shade." Yeah, I don't feel like it was bullying, and I'm not saying that Kenya hasn't done some bullying in the past on the show. Please don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like in that moment that was bullying. She was probably sizing her up. It did kind of feel like that, like she was sizing her up. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Ann. Whew, it was killing me. I was like, why can't I remember the saying? The N says, what Kenya said, he was more than a good neighbor. So I thought that was clever, and based off of what we've gotten so far from the newbies or just the housewives in general that had confessionals, the cleverness, the wittiness, the shade was missing. You could call something shade, but is it clever? Is it something that people are going to be quoting years to come? No. Regina says, Kenya was asking what we wanted to know. I was wondering about the ring. I was like, oh, is she engaged? Where's the wedding band? Not to say you have to wear one, but it's traditionally you do. But okay. Aisha says, Britt asking for a hug was weird. Which also made me kind of feel like, did they meet each other already? I don't know. Dante says that Kenya can be mean, but Britt was clearly on the defense. I don't know if I would say she was on the defense. It was a weird energy between both of them. It seemed like she wanted to kind of go in for a hug. And Kenya, I mean, look, if I don't know you, am I hugging you? I don't know about that. But I don't know. It was a weird energy. It was definitely a weird energy. And then there's this sort of like back and forth banter between the two of them. Who knows? Again, I think it was Kenya sizing them up. Because remember, Kenya and her being a part of the show was a little different. So I feel like she comes with a different energy. Oh, you're a newbie? I'm going to see if you can keep up with the big dogs. It could have been something like that. Maybe. And some people might say, well, no, look, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Maybe, and remember, Kenya's also a producer, not of the show, but she is a producer. She produces things. So that could also have been her trying to produce in that moment. Let me give you a moment. Let me see if you can keep up. Maybe. Jay says, Jay, for a minute there, you look like Kenya. Jay says, Britt was pressed the entire party after Kenya. Yeah. And maybe that's what leads to what we see happen between these two. The way that they edited Kenya, the fact that they're still going to show what happened at the Kenya Moore hair care event feels weird. And I get it. Look, Kenya has no control over what they decide to use because you signed on to be a housewife, but then you broke rules and that's why you're no longer there. But it feels weird that in this edit, in the first early part of the season, Kenya's just sort of there. In order to just sort of be there and not have a confessional, not telling your side, it feels weird that we're going to show what happened. Right? It's like, how are we kind of making her not even a friend, sort of like a guest, but we're going to go to the guest event and have something big happen between those people. It's weird. That seems weird for me. Jamaki says, why ask for a hug? Some people are huggers. All right. So we had that little interaction with Kenya. Cynthia seemed so happy to see Kenya. And then she pulled Kenya to the side to kind of spill some tea like they do. They're so used to their banter, their connection, the way that things are done, the way that they do things. So they sit down and they have a conversation about the girls and what the girls have been doing and saying about each other. And then you talk about the Porsha and the Kelli stuff. So that leads to Kenya being a spearhead of the drama between Kelli and Porsha. So Shamea arrives. Okay. Shamea arrives. She's coming down. It's working. She's like, oh, look at my chocolate man. I don't know about y'all. I will say this. Taste. You could be in a big $9 million home, and all we got from that $9 million home was it's a $9 million home. The party did not give me luxury. Besides the home. Kelly's looking, she's like, where's the food? So we don't have waiters coming around serving food in the $9 million home. Wait, did they have buffet style? Like, taste. When we see a Candace throw a party and they're being served and they're giving you ambiance, and taste is missing. Okay? So Shamea comes down, beautiful woman. Not going to take that away from her. Beautiful. She's on the mic. I'm just like, hey, where they do this at? Ariana says, I am twerking at my B-Day party. Okay. And we're going to be judging you, Ariana. I don't think there's a problem with her twerking. It's the constant twerking. Okay. So Shamea arrives. She's on the mic. Then she's greeting all her guests and things like that. Porsha's still not there. Okay. Then they go back inside, and of course, they're doing the Housewives thing. They're talking about what people have been saying about each other, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Shamea then goes back outside to receive her gift. And her gift is a Rolls Royce, the top of the line, a $430,000 Rolls Royce. Okay. This is what Bravo loves. This is what the fans love. They love to see the luxury. What I didn't love is, look, it is what it is, okay? Homegirl gets it. She's excited about it. Fine. Excitement over we as Tauruses love items. Please understand, when my billionaire husband, okay, gets me my Rolls Royce and a driver. Wait. What does Mariah says? You still looking in the drawer?
Lies! The lie!
Okay. And she's just like, oh my God. It reminded me of the lady getting her first Birkin. Remember that video that went viral a few weeks ago? It was kind of giving that energy. So she gets her Rolls Royce. She's excited. She hugs her husband, and then she's shimmying. Look, she's shimmying on the Rolls Royce. She's twerking on the Rolls Royce. She's so excited about the Rolls Royce. So she's in the Rolls Royce. Porsha pulls up late. I don't know how late Porsha was, but she was very late because everybody and their mama was already there. Sweet P says 9 million yet no food, outside sweating, lace. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Angela Oakley's lace front coming up. I felt for her though. I don't know if she wears wigs all the time. Charles was like, you might want to go to the bathroom and check that. At least he was looking out for her. Some people took offense to him saying that. At least he was looking out for her. He wasn't having his wife look a mess. So So, yeah, $9 million yet no food. I mean, they had food. It just wasn't, you had to go find it. Okay. She gets her Rolls Royce. Porsha rolls up late. Mind you, Porsha, instead of like waiting, because clearly she's getting a gift, Porsha is like making it about her. And she's like, hey, I'm here. I know you all been waiting for me. I'm here. And a Taurus is always going to Taurus. You're always going to know how we feel. We may not cuss you out. We may not tell you in that moment, but our body language, our subtle comments, you're going to know how we feel. And she was not happy, Shamea. So she's like, oh, da 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 da. And mind you, it's one thing to make your presence known and you're like, hey, I'm here. It's another thing to go in front of the Rolls Royce where the cameraman is filming and you're like, yeah, my girl got a car, my girl got a car. No taste. Like, no oomph. No, like, what? Okay. Yes, Storm says Duluth, that's where she's staying with her mom. to Buckhead is a traffic. In traffic is a trek. Understandable. You know that. Porsha is from Georgia. She knows that. This is her friend's house. You're not telling me that she couldn't have stayed with her friend and got her hair and makeup done there. Now that's luxury. We're gonna get our hair and makeup done at your big beautiful home. But no, we're gonna stay over here and I'm gonna be late for your birthday party. But Porsha's going in front of the Rolls Royce and twerking. My best friend. Like that, for me, her arriving late is one thing, but then to make it about you was so tacky. But are we surprised? No. So, they end up going upstairs, and that's where we hear on the mic that Porsha apologizes for being late. And Shamea is just like, Shamea was giving Taurus energy. She's like, I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. It seems like she's disappointed in Porsha. Okay. And Porsha explained, yeah, she was in Duluth because she can't film in her house and blah, 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 blah. She's with her mom and blah, 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 blah. Fine. Okay. Or that too. Mary says, or stay at a hotel closer to Shamea's house. But I'm making it easier. Her money might be a little tied up or a little funny. You're not telling me that Shamea would not allow you in her house to get your hair and your makeup done. That way you cannot be late. Simple. But you saw what she did. Okay. You saw what she did. Anyway. Okay. So they end up going with the other ladies. And that's where they start this conversation about Kelli asking the question. So Kelli out the gate, it's just like, you and that man. The man you stole from that other woman. It would have been funny though if they invited Fallon this season. I'm surprised that none of the other, because isn't Fallon cousins with or there's some sort of relationship between Britt, Edie, and Fallon. So I was like, wait, it could have happened. So they end up talking about the that. And Porsha feels like thrown. Like, what's your name? What's your last name? Like, why are you coming at me with? And look, in real life, would you normally do that? No, you would be like, get to know someone. But we're filming a reality show, and I wouldn't be surprised if producers were like, all right, ask the question. So it leads to a heated moment between Porsha and Kelli. Okay. Mind you, they end up going to another room because it was so noisy because Shamea had a lot of people in her house. Shamea said this was the first time. Oh, Fallon said that. Aisha said Fallon said that wasn't true. Oh. But everyone, there are people, the way that Atlanta is, some of these people already know Fallon. Kenya knows Fallon. She could have easily brought Fallon around. Not that I really wanted to see Fallon, but just saying. All right. So they end up going to another beautiful room in the $9 million house. Okay. Miss Mackey says that Britt and Kelli remind me of Darcy and Stacey from 90 Day Fiance. OMG. Are you talking about the plastic surgeries? So Porsha and Kelli get into it a little bit, but then it leads to, they end off on a cliffhanger for a to be continued. They end up with, Shamea talking about Drew and Dennis. So that's how they end the episode, is confronting Drew about her relationship with Dennis. Here's the thing with Drew and Dennis and Porsha. I know a lot of people want to say, well, Porsha, that's your karma. Look what you did to Fallon. Fine. Y'all remember what Candace said on Real Housewives of Potomac about Drew? And Drew kind of going, she never got into specific details, but it always stood out in my mind. But she insinuated that Drew had reached out to maybe someone that Candace had worked with. I don't know if it was her manager or producer. And she didn't like that. And that's why she didn't want to work with Drew again in regards to Drew opening up for her. And we were like, oh, that was a little shady, Candace. So that always stood out in my mind. And then to see that Drew is, mind you, they're saying that Porsha has really been a friend to Drew. They flash back to Drew's last reunion and how she called Porsha. So they were saying like, they were friends. All right. Um, all right. Darian says, y'all dragging this Porsha thing. Which Porsha thing? We have a multitude of things we can drag in regards to Porsha. Are we dragging the fact that she maybe had an overlap of her relationship with Simon and Fallon? Are we dragging the divorce? Are we dragging, like, what are we dragging? Please explain, Darian. Porsha is probably Porsha's burner. Porsha, we're going to talk about it. You thought being away for 3 years that people would forget. No, you're going through the divorce. All right. So we're going to talk about it. Rightfully so. Guys, we have over 3,000 of you here for our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully that many people watched the premiere. I think people all were interested and curious as to what the season would look like. The Sweet 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will tell you this. I didn't love the premiere. I told you I wasn't excited, but I was definitely coming in with an open mind. It's one episode. I'm going to watch a few more episodes, but based off what I saw in the first one, and I watched it twice, I was like, I'm not, there weren't any quotable moments. There weren't any funny moments. And look, everyone's humor is different, but is this going to be a sequel to Portia's Family of Lies? We remember we recapped that and that was a mess. But okay. All right, let's get to the callers because I have to be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST for our Married to Medicine recap. I have a lot to say in regards to that, but I need to rewatch the episode. So stay tuned for that. All right, we have our members backstage and we're almost at 1,300 likes. I am going to drop the call link for our live chat in just a moment. But those of you that are behind the scenes, please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone. If you don't, I'm just going to take you down. And if you think I'm rude for doing that, that's your own fault. I'm already giving you the rules. Okay. April, thank you so much for the super chat. April says, every time your ad for Buttah comes on and you say the part about other brands and not being named, I kick in with my Sutton's voice and name them. April. Yes, Angela's Flex married to Charles Oakley. I mean, he got a full head of hair. Look, shout out to Charles Oakley. If I could grow my hair like that and have the white hair, I think that actually, I like that. I think that looks good. I don't know him as a personality. I'm already kind of like, Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Shamea gives 90s auntie Nissan Altima energy. And you got to be of a particular age to understand what he means by that. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says, Shamea has a lot of money, not a lot of class. Nelly, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Nelly says, I wouldn't want Porsha up in my mansion around my man. Oh, I mean, when you put it like that, Nelly. When you put it like that. When you put it like that, Nelly. Good job, Shamea. And I know Shamea was like, Porsha would never take my man. Yes, she would. Nelly, when you say that, I didn't think about it. Yeah, you get ready over there in Duluth. You get ready over there in Duluth, okay? Cece, thank you so much for the super chat. Cece says, Kempire, that impression of Porsha dance literally made my day. That's what she was doing. That was exactly what she was doing. Come on. All right, I'm already talked out. Let me bring up the callers, but let me also put up my disclaimer. Remind you guys, the callers are calling it in of their own free will and agreed to be on the platform. Everything that they say is alleged. They agreed to follow the rules of the platform, no profanity, no derogatory comments, and they agreed to keep everything in under a minute. All right, we have quite a few people backstage, so I want to get to everyone. We're going to bring up Judgy Justice first. Judgy Justice, what did you want to share?
Hi. All right. I'm sorry, you make me nervous every time you say 60 seconds. So first thing is there was a lot of royalty on this call. I mean, in the video, I met the Queen of Waffles, the King of HVAC. We saw the rehashing the King of Hot Dogs with the side of R&B on the side. I think that this is going to be a great season. I feel like it's good energy. It's really fun right now. And I like how playfully they're playing into the fact that they're really in Atlanta and all the different things of that lifestyle. And I like the fact that Shamea's money can be counted for. It's clean money.
Ooh.
It ain't funny looking.
Ooh.
And also, you're saying that she got like Kenya got this money out of like she would have got the money from the equity to sell the house like for nothing. She had to give it on the front, back,
Mm.
side to get that money. She earned it. And she had to do it every night. So that she had to pay for that. And that's my end. Bye guys.
Wow. All right. Delon is backstage. Gonna bring Delon up next. Hold on. Delon, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you
Oh,
doing
well, how are
today?
you?
I'm doing good. I just want to say this was refreshing to see Atlanta back on our screens again. And I'm really not missing like the OG energy that people are really wanting. I just feel
Mm.
like sometimes the audience is like never satisfied with what anything Bravo gives us, but I'm
Mm.
actually kind of satisfied with this cast.
Mm.
Um, I'm gonna say my MVP of the episode was Shamea because we got to see a different side of her. Um, Sometimes she can lack some couth, but that's normal in Atlanta.
Oh.
They get a little, down and dirty like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would like some TNA in my face while I'm eating a steak. But that's me as a 24-year-old, not 42. You know. But it was a good episode. I can't wait to see what we see in the coming episodes. I'm ready to see the little Angela and Shamia thing because she said something about her nose, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But
All
that's
right.
all I have. You have a good day.
You too, Delon. Bye. Delon said he wants some TNA while he's eating. No, thank you. Look, no, thank you. Personally. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. Gonna bring Miss Esquire up next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hello. So I just want to say that Shamia was giving Emilia, like it was so cringe. It was so giving that same moment from the Oscars. You can
Mm-hmm.
sing, girl, but it went on for a little too long. I fully expected them to start the season with a flash forward to what happened with Kenya and Britt
Oh.
and to bring us back to give us like a little bit of like Salt Lake sort of like let's show you how everything fell apart and then
Mm.
let's go back to the beginning. And I think if they had done that, even just like a little bit of that, then some of what we're seeing would have made more sense. But to your point, it just looks like bad editing right now. It looks like you're trying to lead us to a certain place instead of just telling us why you're editing it the way that you are, particularly the moments with Britt and Kenya. I agree with you. I think it's really weird that we don't see any confessionals from Kenya. I think she was a housewife. Even if you decide to part ways with her, allowing her on the platform to give her perspective is just a part of the reality of the circumstances.
Mm.
So I didn't like that. What I will say, I think the thing. Okay, bye. I'm not gonna take my time. Bye bye.
Thank you, Miss Esquire. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're gonna bring Toy up next. Toy, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just want to say that I love Shamia. I think that she has the real coin. And I love that when she said what her husband's profession was, we can all understand it. Okay. Because most of these wives, not just Atlanta, but all the housewives, we're like, huh, okay, sure. But I like that her husband's money is accounted for, like someone said before. I think she has a great personality. Yeah, she twerks, but I think that I don't really see her getting down and dirty like we've seen with some other housewives, even
Mm.
Portia. I like her. Twerking is a part of Atlanta, and I would twerk too if I had that body. I want to say that Drew and this storyline with Dennis is so fake. Like, come on. Come on. It's so fake. Get out of here with that. Like, girl, you should go to Candy for your music career. Candy has a Grammy. Who is Dennis? He got hot dogs. You go to Dennis for hot dogs. Anyway, that's it from me, Empire.
Bye, Toya.
Bye.
But they're actually releasing music, and actually not bad music. So Dennis might not be a bad producer. Maybe he's an investor. I don't know if he's actually producing the beats, the tracks, as Andy Cohen just said the other day. Yeah, Shami is a singer. She be what did he say? Something on the tracks. I was like, oh Lord, here we go. Um, all right. Okay, we have Kookie backstage. We're gonna bring Kookie up next. Kookie, what did you want to share? Kookie, you're muted. Sorry. There we go. Kookie, you're muted now.
Sorry, I'm at work and I'm trying to make sure they can't hear me.
Oh,
Um, I just wanted to actually mute that. Sorry. I just want, I just wanted to share that I agree Porsche is being very tacky this season, and I'm just not liking it. I think the storyline with Drew is a bit far fetched. Like I don't. Everybody knows she's not messing with that man. And Shamea, she's probably like house rich, cash poor is what it looks like. Um, she ain't got a lot of cash on hand, you know what I'm saying? But she got a little good house. They probably bought that a little bit, way back when, I don't know. Or you probably got some type of corporate funds or something like that. I don't know. It just don't look like they got a lot of money on deck. And I'm not gonna watch this season, but I will watch through you for commentary. I will not be tuning in.
oh,
Nene Leaks ain't there. Kenya not really gonna be there. They can keep it.
oh.
That's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Kookie. Now back to work, Kookie. All right, Alex is backstage. We're gonna bring Alex up in just a second. Let me just say thank you for the super chat. Blue Skies, thank you so much for the super chat. Blue Sky says, I like the new RHOA and I'm going to give it a chance. They are coming hard for peach juice. And I'm like the last super chat, Porsha couldn't come in my house. She might try and steal my man. Yeah, I didn't think about that till y'all pointed that out. I mean, I thought about it when she first did the stealing, but now y'all have to remind me, like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have her get my African rich man that's actually rich. I don't put anything past Porsha. April, thank you so much for the super chat. April says, go to Dennis for hot dogs in Harmony. I mean, I believe it's a real storyline, but I believe the music came part of them hooking up, to be honest. JMW, thank you so much for the super chat. Shamea said, Shamea was what Mario should have been. What? Wait, Shamea was what Mario should have been? I don't understand that, JMW. Okay. Oh, I think you mean Marlo. Marlo, that's what you mean? The friend of? Okay. I was like, Mario? Who's Mario? I think you mean Marlo, right? Okay. All right. Let me get to the rest of these calls because we have a long line. We have Alex backstage. We're going to bring Alex up next. Alex, what did you want to share?
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Portia, I am not excited to see Portia. Listen, I didn't watch Portia Families Matters because Portia's family does not matter to me. I don't care. Now, Portia is just, she's just so her, and I can't stand it. And I don't know why we're bringing Phaedra. I am not excited for the frickin' frack. I feel like we don't need Phaedra with all the people that are already on the show. Now, on to Shamea. I like Shamea-ish. I like her a little bit. It's refreshing that her husband makes his money in like a normal way and not like some sort of hedge fund, some sort of weird way that will probably be illegal in the next couple of years. And gonna end up with him getting deported. I don't know. Anyway, now, Angela Oakley. I think that Angela is giving me rich. Shamea looks rich, but Angela gives me the rich personality, and I kind of like it, low key. Now listen, Kelli is my kind of Pisces. Cynthia never represented my kind of Pisces. Kelli does, and I love it. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Alex. Pisces. Winter's backstage and bring Winter up next. What's going on, Winter? Your season's about to be here.
Kempire. Yes. When you start every season, I was too hyped. All right, so how I feel about Shamea, I kind of like how they were trying to like give her like the center of the show a little bit, like make her somebody important. If you notice, like the first 20 minutes was all about her and her story,
Yeah.
but she is a little ratchet. Like I kind of feel like she should tone it down a little bit. Kelli, I like her. I feel like she has a lot of potential. I like the daughters. I like that she has like, her own business and stuff, but you did come on in the wrong way. Like anytime a housewife enters in trying to target someone else, I just feel like give us time to get to know you first and then bring that up later. Nobody's face was moving, and I don't appreciate that. Like I don't feel like Black women need any of those fillers and Botox. I was just like, oh my God. And when I saw Cynthia and Kenya, like I really do not feel like they mesh with this group of girls. Like maybe it just seemed awkward. Like Cynthia looked like that friend when you bring a friend to the party, but she doesn't know no one. Like she was just on the sideline. She looked uncomfortable and she looked really stuffed and bloated. Like I was just like, what's going on, Cynthia? Like you good? Like, but yeah, that's all my thoughts.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Winter. All right, we're going to bring Jasmine up next. Jasmine, what did you want to share about the premiere episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just gotta say really quick
Mhm.
about Charles Oakley. Look, my grandmother was a huge Knicks fan, so I'm gonna do this in honor of her. God rest her soul. She used to watch the Knicks back in the '90s. Oakley has been smacking people since the '90s. Okay, and he has had that face since the '90s. Okay, so nothing about him surprised me. It actually reminded me of my grandmother. So shout out to Charles Oakley and Angela. I kind of like Angela a little bit.
Mhm.
We'll see. Also, this episode I kind of felt like was a 5 to me. The
Mhm.
women seem disjointed. It's like holding on to the past but bringing in the new, and
Mm.
it's not smooth. It's
Yeah.
not meshing well. So we'll see what happens. And I just got to say, I was wondering when Portia said that she filed for divorce to protect the marital home, what that exactly meant. Like, was there a lien coming? Was the government coming? Was the tax of it? Like, what that mean, Portia?
Probably all
And
of the above.
I just need the Real Housewife investigators to find out because I don't know if I'm gonna make it past episode 2.
Ooh.
All right, bye, Kempire.
Bye, Jasmine. And Jasmine, I don't think you're going to find out at least not during the season. I don't think you're going to find out what she was trying to protect. Maybe you will, but I think the YouTube investigators told us the Simon T a long time ago. So none of this is surprising. All right. We have Wendy backstage. We're going to bring Wendy up next. Wendy, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
I am so not used to being this far down the line,
I
okay?
know. We got a
But
lot of
anyway,
members.
I know, right?
Look.
Right? You got new members. Congrats.
I almost threw my back out.
So I'm just saying, I gave that episode a 6. I'm going to watch next week, and then it's going to determine if I'm going to continue to watch it. I just want her closet. Her closet was everything to me. And then about Dennis, I'm like, I think Dennis do need to get into the music producing, at least so he can make some money, because I know his hot dog chain is not happening because the one in Memphis has closed down, honey. So I just wanted to get that out the way. And all Kenya was doing was a little housewife hazing. That's what I think that she was doing, was some housewife hazing. That's all. But have a good day.
You too, Wendy. Take care. Wendy always, she got 20 seconds left on the clock. All right, Tyler's backstage and bring Tyler up next. Speaking of Memphis, I have Memphis is in the line. Okay, Memphis.
Hi. Yes, his franchise has closed in Memphis, and it was in a very prominent neighborhood called Collierville, where the people are with the money. I guess they didn't want any hot dogs. But let me say this. I liked it, but this show was just awkward because it just gave wags or love and hip hop for me. Like those newer people tend to forget Nene, Phaedra, and all those girls were those girls' age. Portia and them are not young.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, like it just they're not classy young girls. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but it just I didn't like it. I do like Angela. I'm just interested in seeing where do they go from here. I don't see this being good like 2 or 3 seasons from now. And no shade, while I love Cynthia, she wasn't the right OG to mix in with those girls. Cynthia is too pulled up. They needed dare I say it, I don't like Marlo, but she fits in with those girls versus that's who I probably would have kept. I'm just saying, hear me out, Kim.
No, I agree
I
with
think
you.
They should have kept Marlo with those girls.
She would fit
And Drew,
right in.
yes, and it would have made perfect sense. No sense. Marlo would have been perfect, especially as she would have been did the dirty work for Kelly. It would have been better
Yeah.
because she knows Portia. But that's
Yeah.
all.
You're right. Thanks, Tyler. But I mean, yeah, you could tell the OGs, and when we say OG, because some people are like, well, no, they're not from season 1. No. If you've been around as long as Kenya and Cynthia, we have to consider them OGs and Portia. Yeah, Marla would have fit right in. She would have fit right in with these chicks. Okay. All right, Lee's backstage. We're going to bring Lee up next. Lee, what did you want to share?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
I'm going to be really quick, and it's not even about the show, but sometimes you know how people dislike the video. My aunt disliked a video the other day, and she was like, oh, I dislike the video, not because I don't like the content creator, but because I don't like what the content was about. Like it was about Trump. So I'm like, you know, whenever you say like, how are you gonna dislike the video? I haven't even started.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's people like my aunt.
That was
So
very
I just
sweet of
had to tell
you.
you that. I
No,
just
it's the
had to tell
haters. It's
you that.
okay.
No, yeah, or they could be haters. But yeah, so far what I think about Real Housewives of Atlanta, I kind of like it so far. But yeah, I'm ready for the, you know, to see what else is going on. But that's
Mm.
about it.
Okay. Thanks, Lee. Take care.
All right, talk soon.
Bye. Okay, we have a long line backstage, so I'm gonna try and get through everyone. Speaking of Cynthia, we got Cynthia backstage. Cynthia, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are
Oh,
you?
well, how are you?
I'm good. Kempire, I was not impressed with last night's episode.
Okay.
I
Me either.
guess it's something I have to get used to. I miss the OGs. One thing I did notice, I noticed that Candy. I'm surprised Candy wasn't at Shamea's party.
Maybe she didn't want to film.
That makes sense. I did see Monietta.
Yes, I did see Monietta.
Porsha is a Cancer like me, Kempire. I like Porsha. I do. I know.
I'm a Cancer rising, so I
She's a
can't be that judgy.
Cancer. And unfortunately, some way or another, Simon's like my uncle because I'm Nigerian too. He's so shameful. Scammer. Scammer. It sucks because Nigerians are known to be scammers. Well, I'm not a scammer. I'm a nurse. But I mean, other than that, you know, the episode was okay. I guess I'll just keep watching and give it a chance. Unfortunately.
Thank you for calling in, Cynthia.
Thanks, Kempire.
Bye. Shout out to our Nigerians that are hardworking like Cynthia, a nurse, okay, and not like Simon. All right. O'Shea is backstage. We're gonna bring O'Shea up next. O'Shea, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Calling all the way from South Africa.
All the way. I just called to say this, and I don't mean to be a hater about Porsha, but that image of Porsha going to hit her child's grandmother is so burned into my brain, and I cannot move past it. That is just like I can, when I see her, that's the only thing I think about. It's when she did that in that Porsha Family Matters, then like I still cannot process that she did that, and like every time I see her, that's the only thing that I see. And her jumping from that couch, that whole thing, she had no business doing that show. But yeah, I cannot move past Porsha doing that. But I just want to say one thing about Kelli. With the newbies, I feel like they can't win. When they don't do much, people complain and say they're just taking up space. Now that they're talking, they're doing too much. Like, I guess there's no way to win with them. So like, we just have to take it as what they're doing and see what they come with over the rest of the season. But thanks, Kempire.
Thank you so much, O'Shea. Take care. Yeah, that Porsha family. If you missed our recaps of Porsha's Family of Lies, some of y'all probably forgot what the real name of the show was. Porsha Family Matters. We called it Porsha's Family of Lies. Read between the lines. All right, Elijah's backstage. Going to bring Elijah up next. Elijah, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. I wanted to share that I think that I think the premiere was pretty good, in my opinion. I think it was okay, especially compared to last season. I think it was okay. I think we have to give them a chance to settle in, because I when I look at a premiere like from Salt Lake City, I'm like, okay, not the same. But at the same token, I feel like they've had time to. They've been the same cast for a minute, so I feel like they've had time to work with that. So I think that we need some time with this cast. And I like the way they making Shamea like the center peach in a sense. I would have thought they would do that to Porsha. I think the way they're editing Kenya is very odd. I think, and I don't like it. I think she deserved some confessionals. I think that she deserves something. She deserves some intro pics. And then they're bringing Phaedra back while they're taking her out. So I think it's very hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? And I think Phaedra has had time off the network, but still, you know what I'm saying? They're pushing her so hard, but now you're not even giving Kenya what she deserves. But then when I seen the shade with her and Britt, I'm thinking about the fact that supposedly Kenya called the network in regards to Tiffany Rose that was going to be on the show. So then I think about that and I'm like, does Kenya really just not like the newbies? I don't know. But I think she still deserves some type of confessional. But I have my hopes high. And Nene commented on the Bravo post. So I'm like, okay, maybe that can mean something.
I mean, she's definitely in a better place. They definitely are out of mediation and they've had their settlement. I don't know if there was any actual money, but there was definitely a settlement. All right, Elijah, thank you so much for calling in. All right, we have Miss Bernice backstage and bring Miss Bernice up. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
What up, though, Kempire? What up, though? Happy Monday to everybody.
You too.
I'm only watching your review so I won't get fined. I'm not watching the show. I just enjoy your reviews, and I enjoyed the reviews. That's about it. But did you notice that Jonathan Major's ex dropped all her lawsuits against him?
Yeah, but that was a while ago, wasn't it?
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah. But you notice that it wasn't no big huffy duff about that, like it was about
Miss Bernice,
um.
can we stay on topic though?
Okay, I'm staying on topic.
Okay.
Okay, I hope they have a good season. Shamea, the only person I love on this show is Shamea because she's the only one who's being really honest with her life because of her baby and all the things that she's going through with the baby and stuff like that. That would be the only reason I watch it. If I watch it and the other ones come on, I just put it on mute. And then when they finish talking and the scene is over, I take it off.
Okay. All right, Miss Bernice, thank you for calling in.
Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. I don't know if we'll be able to get to all the calls because I have to get off of here by 3 p.m., guys, because as you know, at 4 p.m., I have a recap of Married to Medicine. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you haven't liked the video, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. We had a few super chats. Your girl, Pay, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I'm late, but the way Drew thought she was Monica talking about Dennis, angel of mine. Oh my gosh. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says they wait. The new girls give city girls energy. And shout out to all the city girls. Like, we're not judging. Are we judging? Lala, thank you so much for the super chat. Lala says, the episode wasn't bad, but certain scenes seemed so produced. Yeah. Miss Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Sharon says, hold on. Miss Sharon says, you wanted a fast start. You got it. Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, guys. We're almost at 1,500 likes. We have over 3,000 of you watching on multiple platforms. We appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, not on Twitter, because something's going on with Twitter today, but also those of you watching on TikTok, TikTok and Facebook. Well, same thing, Instagram, Meta. All right. Let's get to the rest of the callers. We have Anthony backstage. Anthony, what did you want to share?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Kempire. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm going to give this episode a 6 out of 10. This new era of Atlanta is okay. It's giving Miami reboot with half newbies and half past cast members, but it's not clicking. They look puzzled. The show looks puzzled to me so far. Also, I feel like Porsha was supposed to be the Shamea of the season, to show luxury, to show money, but obviously with everything going on, it's tanked. I feel like maybe their beef later on this season might be because Porsha might be jealous, or maybe they both came up with it together since they're friends and they want to create some type of drama. Lastly, for Kenya, justice for Kenya, Team Twirl. To not even get a confessional is criminal, but these Atlanta confessionals in general are criminal. I'm not liking this setup. Leave it in Dubai. But that's all I have to say. Thank you so much, Kempire.
Thanks, Anthony. He said, leave that in Dubai. But I like the ones in Dubai. I didn't mind them, to be honest with you. All right, let's bring Jamie up next. Jamie, what did you want to share about the episode?
Peace and blessings, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Listen, I could have done without Porsha, the Peachtree prostitute, this season.
Okay, let's not do that.
As someone, okay, I'm sorry. I'm with Alex and Tyler from earlier. It's something is not clicking. This is not the Atlanta I know, as someone who has lived in Georgia for over 30 years. I think the stereotype with the twerking and going to the strip club, everyone in Atlanta does not go to the strip club. Black people, my good Black people, the Atlanta I know, the women I know have class. They have taste. They have couth. They are sophisticated. And I think we have gotten so accustomed to this stereotype of Black women, specifically in Atlanta, and the Black men. You can find a good Black man in Atlanta. Ask me how I know, because I did. I've been married longer than Shamea. I have met Shamea, and in fairness to her husband, Gerald, he's a very nice man, and she lucked out marrying him. I'm going to keep it at that since you are on a timer, but I'm tired of the stereotypes. Let's do Atlanta, get some real women with class on the show. And maybe because we like our marriages, we don't want to get on the show. But Porsha we could have done without her.
Okay.
But
thanks,
yeah, I'll
Jamie.
call back in another time to explain the Shamea story.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, Jamie. Bye.
Okay.
I might have to do an after show tonight or something. Stay tuned, y'all. We might have to do a little after hour. Or just callers, Lord. All right. Valen's backstage. We're going to bring Valen up next. Valen, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Atlanta premiere?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. So I just had a couple things. The first thing is I was expecting like boom in the beginning for the first, and this could have been episode 3 or 4. This was not, it was not what I had expected. I feel like Porsha does not, she lacks accountability and she's always making excuses. Her and Shamea at the strip club was so ghetto, and it's not Real Housewives of Atlanta for me. I think it should be called Real Housewives of Atlanta Junior. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Valen. Take care.
Bye.
I will say this in regards to Porsha. We have to keep in mind, during filming, Porsha could not film in her home. They talked about it in the season premiere, but she didn't get access to start filming in the home until after they wrapped the season. So we're not going to see Porsha in the home. And I think what the last caller said before the last, in regards to Porsha being that girl this season, and they had to switch gears because of what Porsha was going through. That makes a lot of sense, because technically we would have been filming at Porsha's home with Simon, and it literally would have mimicked what we're seeing with Shamea, and they probably would have downplayed Shamea and Shamea's role, but Porsha could not bring that this season. It put a wrench in their plans. All right, let me get to Darian. Hold on. Darian, what did you want to share? Darian, are you there? I can't hear you, Darian. You might have to call back in, Darian. For some reason, I can't hear you. That happens with StreamYard. Mel's backstage. You're going to bring Mel up next. Mel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying you attempting to twerk. It's making me laugh very much so. I like that need to be a meme. But you know what? The show, Kempire, listen, I was not anticipating it to be as good as it was last night. I had very low. Like I wasn't. Thank you. Like my expectations were so low. I didn't think, because I really wasn't enjoying the bolos, this and that, and so even the way it was filmed. So for me, I love the way things are filmed. So New Jersey had issues years ago because it looked so murky. The girls last night looked beautiful. The filming looked beautiful. The homes looked beautiful. Now, is the storylines like top tier, like top level? No, the storylines not. But I actually enjoyed the new ladies. I enjoyed them. I don't know them yet. And also say with Kenya, I was sad for her, even though she's not my favorite character. It was shocking. It was totally shocking that here she was, one of the stars, and she was relegated to like little scenes here and there. It was kind of crazy. We didn't get did we get any scenes with her daughter? So it really was like it was kind of shocking. But I didn't. My expectations were so low that I enjoyed last night's episode. So that's kind of where I come from that.
Thanks, Mel. Bye. His expectation was so low. That's what made it good. Let me move on because we only have 5 minutes left, guys, because I gotta go. All right. So for those of you that are waiting in line, I apologize. Let me try Darian one more time. Darian, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me, Kempire?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. So I was just going to say that I actually really, really enjoyed last night's episode. I would give it a 7. I think people just are not giving these ladies a chance to kind of get back into things. But I think it would have actually been better if the episode had went on longer, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, it was.
It was? I didn't even realize it. Well, I feel like the scenes were a little short then. Maybe that's what was throwing me off about it. I felt like, they were trying to introduce all the ladies super, super hurriedly. And some of the scenes with Kelli and Brett, I felt like it was kind of unnecessary for the episode. But, I just wanted to say that I wasn't hating on what you were saying about Porsha. I just feel like a lot of people are really kind of dragging it when it comes to, labeling her as like the husband stealer and just kind of laying it on thick with the jokes like, oh, she's going to steal her own best friend's husband. Like, I feel like we could kind of give a little grace to younger womanhood. But that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Darian. Didn't that just happen 3 years ago, though? Wait. 3 years ago, right? All right. Let me move on. Marquis backstage. Marquis, what did you want to share?
Kempire,
Hey.
A to the T to the L, honey. That is where I live, and the girls brought it. Do you hear me?
Okay.
Bravo heard us. We hated last season, and they heard us, and they made a change. And Chef's Kiss.
Uh-oh. Your sound went out. Ooh.
Oh, no. Can you hear me, Kempire?
Now I can.
Oh, that's the devil. Okay. Shamea's everything. Kelly's height. It was bothering me watching it. She needs more scenes sitting down because when she stands up next to everybody, I couldn't take it. Cynthia's wig was not wigging. The bayang was not bayanging. And Porsha might have been pre-produced because when they show up, they have to get mic'd. So when they mic'd her, they might have been like, okay, we want you to come in now. Like, have her walk in that moment. So that's all I had to say. My girls were giving. I'm excited, and I think Bravo heard us when we said that we wanted to shake up, and they definitely gave it to us.
Okay. Thank you so much, Marquis. Y'all are terrible in the chat. Desiree, all right, Desiree's backstage. We're going to bring Desiree up next. Desiree, what did you want to share? Desiree?
Hi, Kempire.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi. I'm from Philly. Listen, I just wanted to say I agree with most of the callers. The show was awesome. I enjoyed it. I really did. The fresh new faces were beautiful. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. Um, one of the callers did mention that Kenya and Cynthia did seem a little out of place a little bit. It did seem kind of weird. But hopefully they'll pep it up. But the question that I have is, when will, excuse me, Fallon and Brittany, when will Brittany explain to people that Fallon is her cousin? Because from another
They said it wasn't
commentator,
true in the live chat earlier because I brought that up.
okay, because I remember another commentator mentioned that they were related. Okay, I just wanted to know that, but I just wanted to know if that was true or not, because they do uh, favor a lot, really do. So okay, all right, but yeah, I can't. I'm just anticipating the rest of the rest of the shows coming up. And I believe that the ladies look good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Thanks, Desiree.
All right, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Look, it seems like there's mixed reactions to the season premiere. Again, it's only one episode. I will be watching more episodes and, of course, recapping them here on the channel. And hopefully we'll have more time for everyone to call in. We've already been live for over 2 hours, and I have another live at 4 p.m., but I have to watch Married to Medicine. I'm going to try and get to these last 5 callers. Let's see if we can do it, callers, if you don't overtalk the time, okay? All right, Keisha's backstage. We're going to bring Keisha up next. Keisha, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, yes. I am a new member. I just subscribed today. Yes, thank you. Calling from Jamaica. Okay, I'm going to make it real quick. So, Porsha, I think that she absolutely knew who she was married to. I mean, it just came out in the blogs and everything. And if it would have just stayed quiet, she still would have been married to that man and being pulled over to the side when they was traveling. She didn't care. Shamea, I love Shamea. Like, look, I love this community, but I kind of feel some type of way that y'all think that she acting a certain type of way. Like, she not doing any business meetings right now, y'all. Like, she's just having fun. And we've only really seen her in like fun atmosphere. So just give her a little bit of a chance. So that was it. That's my time. So
thank you, Keisha.
When everybody get a chance. All right, thanks.
Thanks. I will say this though, like I said, it's not just the episode I'm talking about. We've been watching Shamea since 10 years. So for me, it's been consistent. I'm like, I just don't see an evolution. It feels always twerk. Like there is no depth. And I know she has to have more depth. I know she's an entrepreneur. I know that she's a hustler. Like, I want to see more of that. I just see a lot of kissing up to Porsha. I see a lot of the and again, it could be the edit, but this is the same edit since 10 years ago? Okay. All right. Okay, Sir Capricorn's backstage. We're going to take a caller. Go ahead, Sir Capricorn.
What's up, Kempire?
Hey.
So here's I understand everybody has their critiques. But everybody's been asking for a younger, fresher move with Atlanta, and now that we're getting it, everyone's complaining about it. We have to I feel like we have to give it a chance. I feel like the premiere was better than expected because from based off the trailer, it seemed like the season was gonna be boring. But that premiere, I give it a 9 out of 10. I love Shamea being the nucleus and being the one that knows everybody and connect to everyone that can bring everybody together. Um, and we have to also remember, just like you said, Porsha is not filming in her home. She's traveling from Duluth to Atlanta, and she did tell production did try to keep her from going up on me on the car, but she said she didn't think it would be an issue of her walking up and congratulating her best friend and celebrate her best friend. That's what the thing was. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Sir Capricorn. Take care. All right, we have Daff backstage. We'll bring Daff up next. Daff, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Just wanted to share, same thing, a previous caller said that his expectations were really low. So mine were really low going in as well. So I actually enjoyed last night. I'll probably watch it one more time, but on Peacock. And I joined late, so I wasn't in the chat. I know there was another YouTuber mentioned something about, what's the singer girl, Ralph's wife? I forgot her name already.
Oh, Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Sorry. Sorry. But with Drew, weren't there other producers in Atlanta that she could work with? But I'm sitting here thinking she's going through a divorce. They're funny. Their money is funny between she and Ralph. Maybe she could just afford the hot dog king, and maybe that was it. And with Kenya, I'm wondering if Kenya was suspended before they started to do the confessionals, because they do them
she was.
middle of the season, the end, and that was it. That was it. So
Thanks,
have a
Daff.
blessed day.
You too. That's true. That's part of the reason why we're not seeing confessionals is because they do confessionals towards the end of the filming season. So that's why we're not seeing confessionals. I'm not sure if we would have seen confessionals if Kenya, because you can see they're not giving a lot of camera time to Kenya. All right. Let me get to these last couple of callers. We have Indira backstage. I'm going to bring Indira up next. Indira, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So, first of all, I want to say I didn't watch your episode because I always wait for your review before I watch your episode.
Oh, okay.
But I am looking forward to this season because they're going to Grenada, and that's where I grew up. So I'm so excited.
Okay.
Because we've never had this sort of international stuff on TV. So I'm so excited to see it.
Okay.
When it comes to Kenya, Kempire, I'm an Aquarius. And if you hurt my feelings, I don't go low, I go to hell. All the way. First class ticket to hell. I mean, she go far and I get it, but I also get why she goes far because, hey, and as it's Drew, I didn't really need her back on my TV, Kempire. I really did not. And Porsha, oh my God. You know what? I would say she was in it for money, Kempire, because she would have let that house go a long time ago. It's a waste of time. Okay. It's a waste of time to be still trying to get it. All right.
Thanks,
that's my
Indira.
time.
Take care. All right. Last but definitely not least, Chef Lorraine is backstage. Chef Lorraine, what did you want to share?
Hello, Kempire.
Hey.
I miss you so much.
I know it's been so long.
I know. I've been trying to hold out, although I've been in the comments, and I love my mama Allie and my Foxy Foxy the Suede. I love them, but I'm gonna make it quick. This is what I have to say. Kenya, I love Kenya, but she thinks she can feel everybody that she feel intimidated by. That's my opinion. Shamea, I like the Shamea thing, and I believe that they're bringing Phaedra back so that they could try to make Shamea jealous of Porsha and Phaedra's relationship, because I kind of think that Porsha is lightweight, a little bit envious of Shamea because Shamea's husband has real money and Simon had monopoly money. And I love Shamea that she has the status and everything. You have a higher station in life. But like Countess Luann said, money can't buy your class. And that's all I have to say.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much, Chef Lorraine. Take care. Guys, and that is it for our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. But shout out to those of you that called in. Shout out to those of you that sent in super chat. Shout out to those of you that have liked the video. Bernice, thank you so much for another super chat. Bernice says, I would have been happy with Moneta. She's classy. Alicia, thank you so much for the super chat. Alicia says, how the hell does Porsha think that she would escape the scandal? As if it would not come up as she left on an entire scandal. I give the opener a 6. I agree, Alicia. I agree with him. It's like she thought, 3 years people would forget and then people would move on, but we haven't. And we're going to keep talking about it. But she's going to keep lying to us because she has an estrangement to the truth. All right. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. And don't forget, we've now launched our special Apple Podcast subscription where I'm talking about The White Lotus. I also dropped an episode. You got a lot this week, y'all. I just dropped an episode talking about the Traitors US Season 3 finale and reunion. And that's also where I'm going to be dropping tea and all kinds of things. So become a member today on the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts. You should see an option there. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for being here. I will see you during our Married to Medicine recap. And don't forget, today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Buttah. You all have asked, Kempire, drop the skincare routine. Well, now I am. I am so excited about our new partnership with Buttah. I've been following the company for many, many years, and I know a lot of you are probably already familiar with their products. So I've been able to try their products for the last few weeks, and I have to say, I am utterly impressed. I'm not going to go through my nightly routine or my other routines because I have a morning routine, a nightly routine, I have a weekly routine, I have a monthly routine in regards to my skincare. So there is a whole system, but you have to start somewhere. So why not start now? First of all, let me talk about my morning routine. So I gotta wash my face. You have to find the right cleanser, all right? And not all cleansers are made the same. Start with the cleanser, gives me a good lather. Once I'm doing that, another key component to your skincare, don't use the towel that you use to dry your hands or to dry your body on your face. They have these high quality, silky soft towels. You use it once and you throw it out. I love that. It's going to change your skincare routine. Once you're done with that, put on vitamin C. This is a game changer. For those that say, Kempire, your skin is glowing. Game changer, vitamin C. I will also say this, because I've tried so many different skincare products, I can tell quality versus not so quality. Quality so far from everything I've tried. There's also a very key component. And then after you've done your vitamin C, it's time to put on your moisturizer. Cocoa Shea Revitalizing Cream. I love this because I've tried some other companies and I'm not going to name them. Some are too thin or too thick or too scenty. This is perfect. And I do not say that lightly, and I'm not saying that because it's a partnership. I would tell you the truth. If you know me, you know that. Perfect consistency. When I've used this literally today, this woman that I met, she's like, oh my God, you have perfect skin. I can't tell you the amount of times that people tell me that, but here's the final and key component, sunscreen. Very important, and I love the fact that they sent me the perfect system. Sunscreen, tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. SPF 90 you don't need. I don't know why they sell it, but it is what it is. So we've partnered with Buttah, and I hope that you will get you a little something. For those that have been asking, what is your skincare routine? I just gave you my morning routine. Stay tuned for the nightly routine and other things. More information on our partnership is available at buttahskin.com/Kempire. All of that information will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah.
Here we go now.